I have felt as though I lost my purpose a little bit. And for someone that's used that sort of purpose to battle mental health and depression is something that I've missed. And it sort of built up within me again. I found myself having anxiety attacks, getting very irritable, wanting to, not having suicide thoughts, but questioning the purpose of life sometimes, which is a bad place to be. And as soon as this contract was signed with the fight, it's taken me, a while to get back in the swing of things, but I'm becoming very obsessed again. And that obsession is just folding Thor in half. That's my goal. Like, my obsession was that big gold trophy at Worlds. Now my obsession is seeing him on the deck, gasping for air, begging me not to stamp on his face.
You're on podcast with me, John Lebbon, Anthony Ellis, and today's special guest, Edward Hall.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are we?
And the first question to you, Eddie, right off the bat, Thor. Why did you start on Thor? Why didn't you go for someone like Joe Swash or Philip Schofield or someone like a bit of a dweeb? Because I'd tune in to watch you battle Joe Swash, and you probably get paid the same. Why start on someone 7 foot, full of muscle?
Well, me and Thor have got a hell of a past. We've been competing against each other since 2000 and... Geez, I'm going to say since 2011 is when I sort of started doing the international circuit. And, met Thor through various competitions, mainly the World's Strongest Man. So there's always been that sort of natural rivalry between me and Thor. We started off as friends, good friends. We've competed against each other. We've travelled together. We've ate meals together. He's been to my house. We've had parties here after competitions, whatever else. And the biggest thing for me was Thor began to change when he landed his role on Game of Thrones. He became this super diva. Started wearing sunglasses indoors. He travelled with an entourage. Literally, I've seen people try and talk to Thor, and it's like, speak to him. And that's how bad it is. So Thor changed. And then which I can deal with, and we still got on, we still respected each other. And then in 2017, I won the World's Strongest Man. And I'm sure you saw the headlines in the papers. It wasn't Eddie Hall won the World's Strongest Man. The headlines were Game of Thrones star was robbed at World's Strongest Man. And it was all a load of BS that was Thor made up to try and basically get the title back off me through social media and through the papers and everything else. And, call me a cheat, basically, in 2017. And since then, I've just absolutely hated him. I just despise the man. He put a black cloud over my World's Strongest Man title. And even though now I'm cleared, a video since surfaced that cleared my name and proved that he was just a man clutching at straws, the damage is done. It's been 3 years and he won't apologise. He still won't accept that he lost in that year. He still thinks he should have won and he hasn't apologised. So what better way to settle it? If he's not going to apologise, then let's get in the ring and have a good fucking fisticuffs.
How did it come about, the fight? Did you sort it out, or did Thor did someone come to you with an offer and say, you two hate each other, this will be a good idea?
It was brought up by fans. The fans kept saying, why don't you just get in the ring and have it out? And somebody asked me the question. I think this is how it all began. Somebody asked the question, who do you think you win in a fight between you and Thor? Well, I think me. Right. I think all day long. I've got the experience. I can take a hit and I can give a hit. So I said me, and obviously he got wind of that, and he said, you're tiny, you're 6'3", you're only 400 pounds, you're tiny. I know that's a ridiculous thing to say. He basically said he'd beat the crap out of me. So that's how it started. And then, everyone's like, why don't you get together? And I put a statement out basically saying, I will, I'd love to fight you, but I don't hate a man enough to take time out of my busy schedule to train and beat the crap out for nothing. So it's going to be financially viable. Next thing, I've got a promoter from Dubai on the phone. Do you really want to fight for? Yeah. Okay. What do you want out of it? So I told him the deal. This is the minimum I want out of it, plus whatever, plus perks and benefits. He came back to me about 2 weeks later with a contract. And I sort of said, as long as it's mine and Thor's contract are mirrored, I'll sign it. So it was, signed the dotted line, and then all the PR started, all the sort of planning and traction. The deadlift was a part of that PR. Him breaking my world record deadlift was a part of that PR. So that's how it all began, really. It was all a master plan. And then obviously, since the deadlift episode, it's just turned very south. You know, it's gone very personal attacks. A lot of stuff resurfaced, like the World's Strongest Man 2017, because of the allegations he kept throwing my way and trying to offend me and try and stir the pot. World's Strongest Man and the people around World's Strongest Man got on the back foot and were like, well, you're making allegations against Eddie, but you're also making allegations against, you know, referees and the World's Strongest Man themselves. So they were put into a spot where they had to defend themselves, defend their own names. And a video surfaced showing that what truly happened at World's Strongest Man 2017. And it showed a man that was just so desperate to win that title, swearing on his daughter's life, stomping his feet, getting aggressive with referees, asking it to be reviewed by other referees. And the man was just shown to be a shithouse, plain and simple. It embarrassed him.
What year? Like, did he win it the next year or 2019?
He won it. Yeah, he won it the next year.
He won it the next,
yeah.
But because you didn't take part,
because
but that's got to be in it as well.
Of course.
It's one of those. Well, yeah, you won it, but you didn't beat the reigning champion, so you're not the real champion until you've beaten the guy,
and I think
the proper guy.
Exactly that, and I think deep down he knows that.
Yeah.
You know, I retired. My plan was, and nobody can deny this, I've always said my plan was to win it once and get out and live off the back of the title, which I have done brilliantly. But you're completely right. Would he have won World's Strongest Man 2018 had the beast been there?
Yeah.
Would he fuck?
So, like, in terms of the box, how tall is he? So you're 6'3", what's he? About 6'6"?
So Thor is 6'9".
Right.
A sort of natural, I think at his biggest, he was 206 kilo, which is like 460 pounds, English terms 33 stone. Me right now, I'm just under 6'3". Body weight, I'm 360 pounds, which is sort of a bit more. I'm about 26 stone, English terms. He's bringing his weight down. I believe he's already down to like 180. So there's only, you know, a few stone difference between us already.
But there's not going to be any catch weight. Like, you're not meeting it like.
There's no cap.
No.
There's no cap. But I don't want to talk tactics so much about the fight because I don't know myself. I'm still finding my feet with the training and, you know, the bag work and the strength conditioning.
Yeah.
In my head, I've never heard a fighter say, I wish I was weaker.
Yeah.
I've never heard a fighter say that. I wish I was weaker, I'd have won that fight.
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to stay big and strong. At the end of the day, the fight's been dubbed as the heaviest heavyweight title that's ever fucking happened.
Yeah.
And that's going to stay that way. You know, we're both going to walk in over 300 pounds of body weight. That's for sure.
Well, if he is that much taller, and I would assume, like, in terms of like Richie, like, got it nice and close. And just smash his ribs
reach-wise, he's got the advantage.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm giving you advice here. I know nothing about it.
Oh, you'd be amazed. Every man in his dog.
Here's what you need to do. Come here, I'll tell you what you need to do.
Every man in his dog's got an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I put a photo up the other day, literally a picture, nothing else, just a picture of me just punching a bag with my hand here.
Yeah.
And like, there's like 2,000 comments, like, tuck that elbow in. And I'm like, it's a picture. I'm doing it. I'm showing my face for a picture. I'm not actually going to be like boxing like this. But it's quite hilarious how many, like, anyone that's thrown a punch in their entire life has reached out and told me some advice. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's one of them you could like strip down. A lot of boxing coaches would want you to lose like 5 or 6 stone, wouldn't they? They'd want to bring it right down, and then, like you say, you want to keep your strength as well. Plus, sparring's going to be hard trying to spar someone. You're going to have to find people like 6'8".
Yes.
Tyson Fury's not that tall.
So you might have to give Tyson Fury a ring and stick him in a pair of high heels.
Because you've had a fight with, was it Huey Fury? It's one of the Furies.
I had a little spar with Huey Fury, yeah. A little mess about, nothing serious at all. And it's an experience stepping in the ring with a pro. You get taught a lesson very quickly. Yeah. You know, by no means am I a boxer. I don't claim to be even amateur level. But when you step in the ring with a pro, you get stung in the face before you can even blink. They are serious fucking business.
I've sparred with people that aren't even pros, amateurs and things like that. And like you say, you watch it on telly, don't you think, well, I'm going to move my head, jab it like that. As soon as someone hits you, you just freak out, don't you? I was like, you're like that, and you think, this is just embarrassing. I don't know why I'm doing this. And it gives you a better realisation. That's why I think everyone should get punched in the face, shouldn't they? Just to realise, like, it's shocking, isn't it? It's more.
The only time I've ever tried to give boxing advice, and I've never laced up a pair of gloves in my life. A couple of years ago, on New Year's Eve, I tried to give boxing advice to someone after I'd had a skinful. And I'm talking to an amateur boxer here, and I went, here's what you need to do, right? There was some ice on the floor. I've gone to try and give advice and went, right, when they step in, you need to step in. I slipped on the ice. My leg went one way, my body went the other. I dislocated my knee. I'm covered in nail. I'm pissed with 2 on the floor, and I thought, I'm never going to try and get fucking boxing fights ever again.
I bet that guy took notes, like got notepad and pen out straight away.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Are you enjoying being back in training? Because you took a bit out doing the TV shows now, but doing training is what you like doing, isn't it? Really, like, and having a purpose to train for, 100%. Isn't it?
I'm a very obsessive man. You know, and you knew me after I won the World's Strongest Man. If you'd have known me before, you'd think very differently of me. I was very obsessive. You know, from I'd say from 2015 World's Strongest Man to 16 was a year where I didn't have a single day off. I didn't miss a meal, a training session, anything. I was like military precision for a whole year. 16, I broke my hand. I still came third in the world. And then 16 to 17, I would say I was ill. I was that obsessed. I would be literally the second I wake up at 7 a.m. thinking, eating, sleeping and shitting strongman. And I'd be working and I'd be training, recovery, stretching, mobility, eating, whatever. I'd be doing it from 7 a.m. till probably 12 p.m. the next day, that night. That was every single day, Monday to Sunday, 365 days of the year. And people were like, oh yeah, whatever. You know, you hear all the people giving the Billy Big Bollocks, he's training harder than everyone else. I was obsessed. And that is something that I've got to switch. And it's been nice having a couple of years to myself, you know, building my empire, building up businesses, building my relationship back up with my wife and kids as well, spending a bit of time with them, doing a lot of traveling, doing a lot of networking. It's been great, but I have felt as though I lost my purpose a little bit. And for someone that's used that sort of purpose to battle mental health and depression, is something that I've missed. And it sort of built up within me again. I found myself having anxiety attacks, getting very irritable, wanting to, you know, not having suicide thoughts, but questioning the purpose of life sometimes, which is a bad place to be. And as soon as this contract was signed with the fight, it's taken me, you know, a while to get back in the swing of things, but I'm becoming very obsessed again. And that obsession is just folding 4 in half. That's my goal. Like, my obsession was that big gold trophy at Worlds. Now my obsession is seeing him on the deck, gasping for air, begging me not to stamp on his face. that is, and that's the truth. Like, I am obsessed with that now. And I'll say this: if I'm confident, like if I've given all I've given for that year, and I'm going into the Worlds or a title or a fight, whatever. If I'm confident, you're fucked. You are fucked. You better fucking turn around and fuck off. And that's exactly what Thor should be doing. He's in fucking big trouble because I am obsessed with this.
Do you think it's something you'll carry on after this fight? Like, just say it goes really well. Is it something you think, oh, well, I might never go MMA? Because I can imagine the offers will come in because Mario Pudzianowski, he does quite a bit. And it's actually quite good now, isn't it? He's got yourself to a decent level. And
it's a tough one, you know. I mean, I've promised the wife, there's got to be a line drawn somewhere within my career with this obsessiveness. I mean, there's going to be the fight. I mean, I know in my head I'll win it. But there's going to be a rematch, and then, you know, and then that happens, and then where do you go from there? You know, I'm going to make a lot of money from that. I'll be brutally open and honest about it. I'm going to make a lot of money from that fight. If someone were to come, you know, Eddie Hearn came to me with a deal, you know, just for argument's sake, just for saying it, you want to fight AJ for 10 million? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it, and I'll train a year for it, and I'll get obsessed, and I'll carry on because, at the end of the day, it does give me a purpose. And as much as anybody says money doesn't give you happiness and money isn't everything, money at the minute, especially in this climate, is like oxygen.
Yeah, takes this thing out of being poor, anyway.
Oh God, yes. It is like oxygen at the minute. I mean, I don't think people quite realise like the recession we're going to have after this horrible.
It's already starting now, isn't it? Like, I don't think people realise what was going to happen.
Like, all these people furloughed at the minute, they're going to be closing down. We've had a massive, all the Trafford centres meant to be shutting down. I think how many hundreds and hundreds of jobs and livelihoods that's costing. Yeah. All these gyms are shutting down. Leisure centres can't cope. All the high street in Hanley, they're on about shutting our main shopping centre in our town centre. And then because if that shuts down, all the shops around it shut down. It's going to be nuts. So for me to sort of stockpile money is one of my main priorities right now, just because I know what's coming. So yeah, I'll be if another offer come in after the Thor stuff.
Yeah.
it'd be hard for me to
Well, like I
say.
say, that sort of money, I'd fight me nana. For like for 500 grand, I'd punch me nana. You know what I mean? So I can totally see where you come from. And like I say, money these days with gyms and that shutting down and stuff like that. Because you sent a letter to, was it Boris the other day?
Yeah.
Saying about the gyms, because we were talking about this. How can you open McDonald's, which kills millions of people, like obesity and things like that? All these places are opening. Gyms that keep people fit, stop people from killing themselves, mental health and things like that. If you're fit, your immune system's higher. Like everything's against COVID. And it just doesn't seem to make any sense, does it? Why would you just not open gyms?
I'm not against it. You know, people want to open pubs and restaurants. That's fine. You know, people, especially pubs. You know, for a lot of people, that's an outlet. You know, people work all week and they want to go to the pub, have a pint, get pissed, forget things, forget the worries. That's their release. But at the same time, going to the gym is people's release as well. So if you can prioritise opening pubs over gyms, there's something wrong there, because if rules and regulations and precautions can be put in place for pubs to be open, then there's no doubt they can do it for gyms. I'm not saying gyms are clean, but I'm not saying pubs are clean either.
Yeah. And you think, like, if you go into a pub, like when they open next week, and after 4 or 5 pints, you really think you're not going to be hugging people, and someone walks in that you haven't seen in 3 or 4 months, and they've been to another pub and you meet up there, and everyone's like kissing and hugging each other. It's going to be the exact same way, and if it's packed, it's not going to be sweaty or what? Yeah. It's just the exact same thing.
It is, and in some ways, being drunk is a lot more dangerous, because you're exactly that. You know, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to shake people's hands. You're going to kiss somebody, hopefully a woman. But you're right. You know, like you go to the toilet, you forgot to wash your hands. Whereas with a gym, I think you're a bit more switched on in a gym. People are more aware. You know, there's going to be people in there like, oh, you've used that, clean that down. You know, you've got a wipe machine down every use. Keep your distance. You've got to wash your hands perhaps every half an hour, perhaps an alarm. You go off every hour an hour, everyone washes their hands. Perhaps in and out system, 45 minutes each. Sanitize on the way in, sanitize on the way out. What I'm saying is, if they can do it for pubs, they can do it for gyms.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I find it ridiculous. I'm not doing this for. That open letter, I've got a home gym. I train at home now, and I won't be going back to a normal gym just because I don't want people seeing what I'm doing in the training. You know, because it'll get out and back to the Thor camp. So I've got no agenda other than I'm seeing a lot of people committing suicide. I probably had about 5-6 guys on my contact list commit suicide during this last 3 months. A lot more have tried, and a lot more will come. And that's because the gyms have shut. So something needs to be done. I mean, they say mid-July, but, you know, last month it was mid-June. You know what I mean? It could drag on. Say mid-July, it could be mid-August. It just drags on. So what's done is done, but I think the government needs to draw a line, put some precautions in place, and open up gyms. Definitely. There needs to be a line drawn, a date given. Yeah. You know, I'm not asking, we can't go back in time and open at the same time as the pubs. That's done. But let's draw a line and crack on with it and give everybody a fair playing field.
There's risk in everything, isn't there? You know what I mean? Like this virus isn't going anywhere, is it? You know what I mean? Then there's no cure coming in the next couple of years. No. So you might as well open it up now than a month's time or something. Like, you don't have to go to the gym, do you? Like, no one's getting forced to go to the gym, so it's on you, the risk. Yeah. So
have you had anything back from the letter? Have you had any response?
No, I've had. I mean, I did an ITV News interview last night that went live on ITV News. BBC One, I've done an interview with them yesterday. That's going out this weekend. But I'm yet to. Local MPs have reached out, but no offence to those guys, but they're going to do fuck all. Yeah. You know, so really we need someone like Boris Johnson or is it Oliver? What's it, Waffle? That'll do.
Is it the bald guy?
Yes, so the health secretary.
Yeah.
So, you know, nobody's reached out yet, you know. So, I mean, the footballer, Rashford, sorry. You know, he did it for school dinners and it went viral and they retracted it and they swapped it, you know. So I was hoping to have the sort of same effect, but it didn't quite have the reach. So just wait and see. I did it for a reaction. You know, I did it so something happens.
But you're right about people's mental health and stuff, even on social media. From the start, I think people were excited, like, oh, let's get a crate of cans, barbecue, and then a couple of weeks in.
2 or 3 weeks, didn't you?
Yeah, everyone's photos on furloughed and stuff like that. But the mood online has just changed. I think now we're like, it's a war zone, isn't it?
It's poison at the minute. I mean, all this, you know, the Black Lives Matter stuff and the Trump in America, and it's so poisonous right now. I've literally just switched off.
Yeah.
You know, I can't deal with it anymore, so I'm just taking a step from social media completely, and I just try and concentrate on the good in life. You know, be positive. I'm sick of all the rioting and people dying and getting shot and murdered. I'm done with that. You know, and people people that add to that, people that fuel that, are not helping the situation.
The second wave people are the best, like VE Day, second wave next week, and then protest second wave.
The beaches.
I think they're honestly going to be disappointed when there isn't a second wave. They're going to be fuming out. Fucking hell. Been saying this for 3 months now. But
they'll still be saying second wave like a year down the line. It's coming.
Halloween party, second wave. You know what I mean? It's just all the time, isn't it? And like you say, that just always down, isn't it, online? Like, you never say no and put like a funny status or like that. It's just so rare, isn't it? And just
I can't deal with all the the films being taken down from social, from Netflix and whatever. Like all the Monty Python and White Chicks and Bo Selector, and you know what? Like, people take offence to anything, but I see comedy for what it is. I see comedy for comedy, and I enjoy comedy.
Yeah.
And for someone like Keith Lemon, that takes the piss out of a black guy, will take the piss out of a white guy as well.
Yeah.
So I've never, he's got a lot of stick for what he did, but I just see it as, I see Keith Lemon for a funny guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a racist whatsoever.
There's no malice in it.
There's nothing.
Well, you can see the difference. Like, you go back to the early 80s with some like Jim Davidson or those kind of comics, like, and you think they were racist jokes, like, and then you watch the other stuff, and say with the likes of the Keith Lemon or Anton Deck had their stuff taken down there, like you think that 90-minute show or that hour show by Jim Davidson or Chubby Brown or whatever, like that was aimed at people that couldn't help what they were. Like, you're laughing at someone for the colour, but they can't. They're sitting there going, well, you're laughing at me, I can't help what I am here. Whereas the other stuff, it's like, as you say, they'll have a go at white people, black people, women.
It's a fair playing field.
Do you know, like, so if you're giving it out to everyone, well, that is equality. Do you know what I mean? Like, so both of them. It's obviously not saying
but people at the minute just want to see the bad and negative in things.
But I think everyone seems petrified at the moment that they're going to be like, because we're in this close down, this what are the cancel culture?
Cancel culture.
So everyone seems petrified that if I don't come out and say sorry for that, then I might be the next one that to be on the scrap heap. And I think fear is driving a lot of it with the entertainers.
It's but again, it's pissing me off is the right word.
Yeah. Well, Ricky Gervais says it best, and he said the offence is taken, isn't it? It's not given. Like, you could get offended by something, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? So it's hard to like, and especially stuff that's been cancelled. When you think about films like Blazing Saddles, no one's even mentioned Blazing Saddles. And you think, have you seen the content in that? But like, certain things have been cancelled, other things haven't.
White Chicks was a prime, one of my favourite films. White Chicks, and that's still, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's the sort of the way around. But I just see it as a funny film. I don't really care who's playing what.
People just like being offended now, don't they? Like, online, everyone's fuming. Like, people see like rubbish outside, take a photo of it, like, disgusting, this absolutely. You're like, it's like your day, really. Go pick up Is this what we're doing all day? And then loads of comments. Oh, that's terrible, Sharon. Shouldn't have to put up with a crisp wrapper in your garden. Like, fucking hell, no better going on than this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I never used to have social media. I did it for like comedy and stuff like that. And honestly, the amount of times I wish I just didn't have to see what these people are writing, because you haven't just got Black Lives Matter. It brings out the other races, doesn't it? So you've got like the ones that are like totally that way that you can't stand, and then you've got these like English Defence League type people, and like you think, God, where's the middle ground? Where's none? Be better having social media for like if you're just gonna have a laugh and stuff like that. Cause...
Well, I remember me and you've had this conversation before. Where, like, it's nowadays you're not allowed to just sit there and just go, you know what? Like, can you just leave me out of this argument? It's like people are almost saying to you, no. You choose your side. You're either all in this camp or you are all in this. Like, if you're not totally woke and totally leftist and liberal, then you're an alt-right and a racist.
Do you know the other week when the Black Lives Matter stuff kicked off and people were posting a black box on their Instagram and they're putting hashtags, and I saw people doing it, and I was just so deep in my training, I didn't even know what was going on, and I was like, why are people posting a black box picture? And then I saw people like putting hashtags and descriptions, and they were going on like, you're putting the wrong fucking hashtag. This hashtag has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. It's blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, these guys are trying to support whatever cause it is, and they're getting shit. Yeah. And then people would say something different. And I've seen people take posts down, put another one back up to sort of remedy someone's assault, and they're getting shit for that. Yeah. So I stayed out of it. I was like, I'm not having... I've got a big following. I think people can make their own minds up and make their own judgment. I don't need to post a black box to make a difference. Yeah. People can make their own mind up. I had people on my status coming on, why haven't you posted a black box?
Yeah.
And literally, and then 200 comments down, like disgusting, unfollow. And I'm like, I just said to my wife, I was like, I'm staying out of this. Like, let the will carry on. I just want to carry on with my training. I haven't got the mental capacity right now to dive into that and get involved. I'm staying out of it. And because I stayed out of it, I was a racist.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, don't rise to it. I'm not going to.
If you ignore it, you're a racist.
Well, I'm being called a racist just because I just want to get on with my training and concentrate on my own life.
Yeah.
I don't want to, you know what I mean? It was unreal. It was unreal. Like, everyone was just, couldn't wait to get the claws into somebody over anything. Yeah. Absolutely anything.
It's a difficult one because obviously we're three white men here talking about this, and it is difficult because obviously people talk about white privilege and all that, but obviously I've never been looked at strange when I've gone into a shop because of the colour of my skin, and neither of us have, and we've never had like institutional racism like pointed at us because obviously because we're all white. So it's difficult, but at the same time you go, well, what am I supposed to do? Like not look at the others, not look at both sides. It just. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very strange. Like, it
is tough. It is. I've experienced racism in my youth for being a white man in a so-called black area. You know, I got slashed down the face for being in the wrong area at the wrong time. So it does happen. I have experienced it, but I just feel as though now, like I'm in a nice place in life where I can afford to stay out of that, and I just want to stay positive. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. If you've got nothing positive to say, just don't say it half the time.
I could say plenty of negative things, and so could you, so could the cameraman. You know, you could go on forever. I just want to stay positive. I don't want to get involved with it.
Yeah. After the celebrities that are doing it now, you almost think like, I mean, did you see the Imagine video? You must have seen that with all the actors.
I didn't.
They all sang a bit of Imagine.
Like, you know, John Lennon's Imagine.
Yeah.
Well, Gal Gadot, the woman she plays, Wonder Woman. I don't know if you've seen the film Wonder Woman.
Definitely, I know you.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. So she starts singing the first line, and I thought, this is a joke. And then obviously it goes on from there, and then it's Will Ferrell and another actor, and they all sing a line, and you're going, you're sitting there, like, and you're only doing this to make your status bigger, like because you want people to go, aren't they lovely people?
Well, I don't know what the apologise video. I apologise for not everything.
What was it? I apologise for every time I didn't stand up when I could have done. I apologise for this, and you're like, but you're not going to do it though because the next time that you get offered a big role and a black person's overlooked and you get given it, are you going to turn that $10-15 million down? No, you're going to take the fucking job.
I'm sorry, I'm not taking it.
It only works if every single if all these stars went like that's it and make no more films until something's on, then that's a statement.
Yeah.
But coming out and going and doing a quick 10 seconds on a video. Fuck all, does it?
I think it's the celebrity culture we live in now, though, isn't it? Because it's like people say, fucking hell, Barry Chuckle or Stormzy's voting for Labour. That's it. And you're like, I'm really bothered. What's Stormzy and Barry Chuckle vote for? You know what I mean? Like, everyone just keeps pushing their opinions on. Like you say, you better just keep out of it and just. Yeah.
But if you don't keep out of it, you're getting abuse. You've got to keep. I've not responded to anybody or said anything, and I think for someone in my position, I think that is the best thing to do. You know, people can make up their own minds. I don't need to stick my oar in and try and sway people to comment or like or whatever, or push this, push that. People can make their own minds up.
But people online and that, they just do it to get a raise, don't they? Like, you'll have stuff on and people be like, I'll try and get a reply here and stuff like that. I've done it when we were boosting like ads and that for shows and stuff. You put it on, and I think it was a picture of me on somewhere. Someone just commented, fat meth. And I thought, I'm not even famous. Like, you're trying to get a rise out of me. I'm not
next time, make sure you put a picture of me on.
You know what I mean?
The comments will flood in.
Online now, that's just what people want to rise out of people, don't you? And like you say, if you just ignore it, I think that's best, and then stuff like that. But when we've done the shows, what was that? I was telling you before, that couple that tried to get you to go on with them. Oh, yeah. Remember the swinging one?
Would they be genuine?
Oh, yeah. So, was it Birmingham?
Birmingham, yeah.
Birmingham. So, I think it was like some woman. Was it the man or the woman that come up to you?
But they were dead excited. I was stood next to you, weren't they? They were like, you know, like as if to say, like, he's there. You ask him.
Literally, like, what are you doing after the show? Like, probably going home to my wife and kids. Oh, it's just that me and the husband have got a hotel room if you fancy. And I was just like, Nah.
They're both like middle-aged like people. I just don't read it.
Whoa. Let's not bring the age into it. Middle-aged people are allowed to swing as well.
No, but I mean, Eddie's like 29 or something like that. Last was maybe like early 50s or something. But I looked a bit shocked that, like, you don't want to bang that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just a dead weird expression.
Well, he was a little bit offended, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Don't want to smash my wife.
But she was trying to look like, you know, like I don't know. It was just a really weird. But every time you've done them shows, like you said, you do it, and there was always some weirdo there. Wasn't there? Like every show always attracted at least one.
Always a super fan of two, yeah. But some of them just go a little bit too far, don't they? That's all.
But like we were saying, though, the more you're around people, the less you want to be around people, isn't it? And like you say, them shows when you see people like, Eddie, would you mind if I just licked your calves and stuff like that?
Yeah.
How weird can you get? Do you know what I mean? It's swinging, licking, and stuff like that. I don't know. But I bet you're glad they've finished, though. You?
I am. You know what? I enjoy touring the country and meeting all the people, obviously. But I mean, we did 52 evening whips, I believe, in a year. Spaced out, and Jesus Christ, I mean, towards the end, I was just so worn out with the same questions, the same handshakes, the same pictures, just repetitive for me. I just felt very used and abused, if I'm being honest. Yeah. You know, by the end of it, I was just like, I've had enough. Like, people will just wear you down until you're a puddle of pulp on the floor. Like, literally take a picture of you dead. Yeah.
Well, I always find it weird. Like I always say, that I would not want to be famous. Like you could be having a meal. Like we went for curry and stuff like that. People just go like, and you're like, fuck. Like you're just trying to eat something. Yeah, right? So I just find that really odd. I'd never have that. Like the manners seems to go out the window. If you're famous, you can do anything you want to them. Yeah. I just find that really odd.
It gets worse as well. You know. I mean, I've told you the stories before, like trying to have a day out with my wife and kids, and I'd take them to a park or whatever, or West Midlands Safari Park we went once, and the car was fine, obviously, you're driving through, you're feeding the animals and whatever, and then my little lad saw a dinosaur in the park, could we go, yeah, okay, drove in, soon as we were not even paid, have a picture, oh yeah, go on then, and then pay, have a picture, yeah, and then you get in there, and it's every 5 meters can have a picture, and every time I do it, my kids are standing there like that, waiting. And to that person, it's only 10 seconds. Yeah. But to my kids, that's 10 seconds, walk 5 steps, 10 seconds, walk. My son went on like 2 rides, and we've been there like 4 hours. It's only a small park. And in the end, it was just like, and they wanted to say, I'm like, no, we're going. I've had enough. Like, and then as we're walking out, I'm like, fuck off. I just want to go home. I'm just done with people. There's no off switch, you know, and they think that they're only one.
Well, that's it. But to that person, and obviously, like you know the truth. But to that person, you go fuck off. Like they go and go. You'll never guess what.
They'll tell thousands of people.
Yeah. But that's what they say. Isn't it? Like the person who you give the photo to, they might tell 10 people, oh, he's a really lovely fella. The other one, they go straight on Facebook, straight on Twitter, and all that.
My dog just died yesterday, feeling really low. I thought I'd go and see my hero. Eddie, tell me to fuck off. You know what I mean? That's the crack that.
I've learned a lesson. You know, you don't tell people to fuck off. You say it more politely than that. But even when you say it politely, you get called a dick and arrogant. You know, he wouldn't do a picture with me. It doesn't matter where you are.
They don't say it to your face, do they?
No. I've had it where I've been having a piss in a toilet and people have come up and snap pictures. So there's literally no off switch.
Of me.
Oh, right, yeah. I'll have Dick out and they come up and snap a picture of the top off. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But when we were doing the shows, I always thought you'd end up going back to strongman now. I knew if it wasn't boxing, I always thought, because like you say, you were doing acting and things like that, and I could tell you liked it, but it wasn't giving you that same fulfillment as like doing the train and things like that. And like you say, boxing now, you're a bit more upbeat, aren't you? And that's what you want to be doing. So, but MMA, like Mario, how old is he now? He must be 44. And
Marius,
like that.
He's got to be coming up to mid-40s, I'd say, yeah.
Because the MMA, there'd be a lot of money in that, wouldn't it, if you fought someone or something like that? I don't know why, because I feel like that's just on the rise, isn't it? UFC and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I've got a cracking deal with this boxing match, a real good deal. So,
so I was going to say, is the thing set in stone? The rematch, is that set in stone?
It's not set in stone, but it goes without saying, you know, even win, draw or lose, there's always a rematch.
Yeah.
And because of who me and Thor are, if I beat him, which I will, I want to know I have beat him. I don't want to think to myself it was by chance. Yeah. So 6 months down the line, we'll have a rematch, and I just want to do it again, just to make sure, you know, I did beat you fair and square, like it will Strongest Man. Yeah. I want to solidify that. I want to embarrass him twice.
Yeah. Are you going to do a press tour? You know, like
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, because stuff like that. Yeah.
It's going to be not as big, but on the same sort of level as AJ Joshua. I think it's going to be, you know, it's going to have as many eyes on it. When we announced it, I think over the 3 days, we got something like 153 million interactions.
It was everywhere, like every news outlet you've seen it.
It was nuts. It was literally the talk of the world. It went fucking crazy.
And it's in Vegas.
Yes.
Whereabouts do we know yet?
Don't know yet. Got in my head, it's like the middle of September 2021, like the 17th of September, something like that. And again, stuff like that can be so varied. You know, it could change venues, it could change countries. You know, we just don't know.
And just exactly how many complimentary tickets will you get?
Well, I meant to be going Vegas last month, so I'm going to swap it for that weekend.
So I'll make sure you get seats. That's no problem.
Just there with a Thor banner like that.
Cheers. Yeah.
No, but anyways, that's been absolutely fantastic. We'll let you get back on with your training because we're thinking about getting there ourselves.
If we can get you next time we'll go for, when the pubs are open, we'll go for a pint in there. We'll do it from a pub next time. That's a great way to sign off.
I can remember when you did that for 30 minutes, for 30 minutes at this show. We're in a room, and it's like a plume, and I was like that. I felt ill. And then this poor lass walked in. She was like one of the runners at the theatre, and she was like, the show. She nearly fell asleep. Then she was nearly sick, and she didn't even bring it up. She didn't have the heart to say, like, it's fucking
that's the worst one, isn't it? When you're dead awkward.
Yeah.
Come dead close to you, like, hey. You're right, yeah, go on. You have to act as though nothing's happened.
Oh, fucking.
Like, it's a normal smell in here. Where was that place we went? We went one place, and they put it was like the green room was like in the dungeon behind the stage.
Oh, was it Swindon? It was like where they kept sloth off the goonies, wasn't it?
Oh my god! We walked in, and the guy was like, "Look, this is your green room," and we went in. It was like mould on the wall, fucking like a sink with dishes piled high. It was like a lovely comfy chair for you there. It was like the shittiest older man, like a proper old armchair, cloth. Yeah. You could see it was just covered in mould and damp. And I was just like, cheers. Like that, this is like, you know what I mean? You just won the world's strongest man.
I've made it.
And you're fucking, there's your green room, like, fucking made it in life.
I'd say we could have done an appeal with that video, just the video of like, Eddie, like for £10 Eddie could have a normal one.
I'm sure you snapped a picture of me in that chair, just like eating my food, not touching anything. Like.
Looks like Angela's ashes or something like that. Proper depressed in this. Anyways, we'll let you crack on, Eddie. But cheers for coming on.
Cheers,
thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.